Hey, I've lost 180 pounds on a meat-focused diet. I've done keto, carnivore, and counting calories. Well, I'm experimenting with carnivore again. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So it's Sunday morning, and usually I have just a protein shake because I go out to eat with Mom. But I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I'm hungry. So I'm going to eat 2 of these eggs and give 1 to the dogs. And I just want to show you all. But you know I'm still taking my protein coffee. I only drink protein coffee on Sundays. I used to drink it every day, but now I just drink it on Sundays. So that's what I'm having. I'll drink that when I'm at kids' church and in church. And I'm going to eat my eggs. Like I said, 2 of them my plan is. And then I'm going to give 1 to the dogs. I'm watching the parade on your channel, Lori. Guess who was mesmerized by the sounds? She says, I want to go to a parade, guys. What you think of that sounds, Callie? Do you want to go play with the kitties in the parade? Hey, I know most of y'all know it's Jesus and Judy Day. Sometimes I make it to Judy's and Jesus, and sometimes I don't. I had kids' church this morning. I even got my little sticker on there. Tells my age. I was laughing about it, and I think they're going to fix it so it doesn't say my age anymore. But anyway, so I got my Kids Point shirt on. I was chewing on my cuticle on the drive. I need to get a tissue. Hang on. So listen, I don't know what I was smoking this morning. I say that jokingly. But I forgot to take my book in with me to take notes on. So this is what my notes look like. You see that? And then my friend Angie gave me a piece of paper, and that's all I wrote on it. Anyway, so tonight at 6 o'clock, today is Sunday. So you will see that's down. Hang on. I know you can count my lines. Count the lines in my hand. Anyway, you'll be getting this will first pop up Tuesday morning, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, yeah. Pastor said that he's not going to talk about how to vote and who to vote for. He's just going to, it's supposed to come up tonight at 6 p.m. and on my church channel. So listen, when I get back from church, I just kind of tell y'all some of what he talks about. Please always go back and listen to my pastor say it. He does a much better job. I'm just doing a little review of what he talked about at church. But there ain't nothing like hearing it straight from the horse's mouth. But anyway, so tonight at 6 p.m., Sunday night, they're doing on their YouTube channel, they're going to upload his explanation of the Bible. And because he said, you know, that they say you can't have no religion in politics, but he says, but when politics starts getting into the religious and affecting the religious aspect, then, you know, you got to start taking things in mind. But anyway, so I haven't watched it. It won't be till 6 tonight, but I'm going to have to set an alarm for that. Editing Terry, make sure you watch that video. All right, so let's get into it. He said we're going to have 4 weeks, and it's called The Answer is Jesus. He said there's going to be 4 questions, and the answer is always going to be Jesus for all 4 weeks. So we start off, and he said this week the question is, will God accept me? He said it's a question that humans have been asking for years and years and years. And so he gave his explanation of how and why God will accept us. Luke 4, verse 18 to 19. This is whenever, so Jesus, he had preached out to the people, but this is his first time he went into a synagogue. Y'all saw this handwriting, and that's what I have to try to decipher, so wish me luck. I have to take these glasses off. All right. Jesus read this. This is a verse from Isaiah. And he read it in his first sermon in a synagogue. It says he preached on who and why and what Jesus was about. It is a verse from Isaiah. And Jesus walked in, opened up the scroll, picked out a verse from Isaiah, and then I'll read this afterwards. So it is. Let me put these back on. It says, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to set free the oppressed, and to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." After he read that, he rolled up the scroll and sat down. And Pastor was saying that by doing that, just reading that, he said, because he was saying he has anointed me, meaning Jesus. And he has sent me, meaning Jesus. So the pastor said the Jewish people in that time would have known that as he was reading that, and after he was done reading it, when he sat down, that was, because you have to think in context of how people lived back then and their understanding back then. So when he did that, that was his way of demonstrating the passage was about him. So then it goes to, he talked about Matthew 5 verse 3. "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs." So in the beginning of the first verse, Luke 4 around 18, it says, "Because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor." And so pastor was saying poor doesn't mean like financially poor. I mean, it can also, but later on he was talking about blessed are the poor in spirit. So for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. So that means not just poor. Originally he came to preach the good news to us who are poor in spirit. Then I got 11 and 1. So in here, he gave the definition. Poor in spirit means to bow, to recognize that you are spiritually bankrupt. It says, "We are not accepted based on our merit or our actions." How are we accepted by God? We must recognize that we are spiritually bankrupt without the grace of God. So without God's grace, we're spiritually bankrupt. I wrote on here to read it. I don't know if y'all remember, there was a verse and it talked about Jesus was saying it, how a tax collector and we're just going to say a leader in the synagogue both went in to pray, and the synagogue, or the teacher, he was there saying, "Oh God, I'm here. I am so glad that I'm not like that sinner over there. And I'm so glad I'm better than that sinner over there. And I'm even better than that tax collector over there." And then he, and I am totally paraphrasing, just so you know, this is from Luke 18, verse 9 to 14. "But meanwhile, the tax collector he was acting like he was spiritually bankrupt, beating his chest. It's like, "God, forgive me. I know I've done wrong. I am so sorry." So we need to be like the tax collector and understand that, we are spiritually bankrupt without God. And says, God is looking at our heart, not our actions, because we are not justified. Wait a minute. By our heart, not our actions. Not justify my sin. Oh yeah, I cannot justify my sin by another sin. So he said, for example, he said, well, just like, James over there, he skipped church last Sunday to go fishing. Well, does that mean I'm better than him because I was here last Sunday? And then, just like his friend, whatever name he said, told me that he lied, or he told on me that his friend went out fishing instead of coming to church. Does that make me better than that person who told on his friend for missing church? He said no. He's like, we all sin. And salvation is a gift of God for those who know and believe they are spiritually bankrupt. You don't really understand. Oh, yeah. So we don't necessarily understand the value of Jesus until we see our own spiritual poverty. So again, if we go around and we think that we're better than everybody else in various ways, then that's not learning about our spiritual poverty. So hang on, it's getting serious, y'all. We have to know our own spiritual poverty and never forget the awe of Jesus and what Jesus has done for us. We can never forget that God and his grace. He did, let's see, then it says, hang on. Oh, and then he read Isaiah 64 verse 6, and that's where he talks about we are saved by God, by his grace. And Romans 3 verse 23 to 24, we nailed Jesus to the cross with our own sins. And it is because of Jesus that our sins are forgiven. He said, salvation is not a buffet. We cannot pick and choose what we want Jesus and God to be over. It's not a buffet. I know I love me a buffet, but I can't pick and choose. All right, God, I want you over my work life, but I don't want you over my relationship life. I want you over my car life and keep me safe when I'm driving, but I don't want you to keep me safe on the internet if I'm talking to men. You know what I mean? So we can't just pick and choose what we want God to be over in our lives as humans. And it says, so by faith, we now must accept him. And it says, if Jesus will accept us if and only if we accept him, which makes sense. I mean, how is he going to go around accepting people that don't even believe in him? He's going to accept those who accept him. And Romans 5 verse 8, but God proves his own love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. God knew all the sins in our lives that we were going to commit. He knew all the dumb things that I do. He knew them 2,000 years ago. But Jesus still got on that cross and was nailed to that cross for all the dumb, boneheaded things that he knew I was going to do. He still died for me. And you too. So then Colossians 2 verse 14. I did put on here. Oh, I already read that part. So then let's go to Romans 10 verse 9 to 10. So again, go to my church. It's called Connection Point Church. The link to my church is always in the description of my videos. I just tell you a little bit about what he says so you can hear it straight from him. I know I already said that, but I just want to let you know the link to my church here on YouTube is in my video description. Romans 10 verse 9 and 10. If you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. One believes with the heart, resulting in righteousness, and one confesses with the mouth, resulting in salvation. So if we know and accept we are spiritually bankrupt and accept Jesus, we want to live for Jesus and share him. So the big takeaway was, happy is the one who lives under the lordship of Jesus. So that is what church was about today. I've had one tomato. I don't know. I'm fixing to go dig in her thing, in her refrigerator. Just know I will have some pimento cheese. And I don't know what else she's got over there. But just know it's Sunday. These are the Lord's carbs. They don't count. We have communion. I know, I remember when I was carnivore, people were asking about taking communion. And it's a personal preference. I personally do take communion. Our church does like a little wafer and grape juice. That little half a swallow of grape juice is not enough to mess me up. And that little thing that little bite of a cracker isn't going to be enough to mess me up. So I do personally take communion. And it is carnivore if you think about it. It's the body and blood of Christ. So there you go. My communion is carnivore in spirit. All right, love you guys. I'll see you whatever I have for lunch. Like I said, I don't know what I'm about to go, but I know I got this thing. I need to put a Band-Aid on it. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so I've got 2 broccolis and the chopped steak, and I got it medium, so that is my lunch today. So my mom has her college yearbook, and say hi, Judy. Hi. And let's see, we can find Dad. I saw him just a second ago. There's Dad. That's Nick Leist. And then, let's see, I gotta find Judy. No, that ain't you. There she is. And there's Judy. There's Nick and Judy. She was. So Nick was a senior in college, and Judy was what?
I was a sophomore then.
Sophomore. Oh, now hang on. I got more. And look, that was Dad's senior picture in college. Let's see if we can find Judy in here in this book too. All right, y'all. I haven't found her yet. Let's get to. Oh yeah, she's Judy. Let's see her shirt. There's Judy. That's Judy. That's who Nicholas fell in love with. He saw her and
we got married that year also.
Aw, and that's Mom's cousin. She has the same name, McElmurray. So yeah, there's Judy right there. Now this is the next year, and she's listed as Judy Leist. So hang on, don't you point yourself out, Judy. Let me look. There she is. That's Judy. She was a married woman by then, by what, about a year?
Mm-hmm.
She was married a year by then. Look at her. Look at her sweet and young looking face. Look at those hairdos, man. This was 1963. All right, the other page she's on. Let's see. Leist. L-E. Lewis. L-E. Oh, there we go. So 1, 2, 3. Look at her. Look at that Judy. Look at her. That was before she had me. She looks so sweet and innocent and untainted. Then she had me, and now, bless her heart, now she looks like that.
It's all downhill from there.
Exactly. Mom's not in this one, but look, this was the varsity club. Look at that. Don't they look like they meant business? And then this was the cheerleaders. And this is at SEMO. Yep. Special interest groups. Look at her. She's dressed like Jackie Onassis or Jacqueline Kennedy. When was he shot?
62.
62? So no wonder. This was 1963. So she was dressing. Yeah. Isn't it it's just fun for me to go back and, the art club. Oh, and then the Terpsichore. I don't know what a Terpsichore is.
Terpsichore.
Huh?
Terpsichore, they're the
dancer,
yeah.
Anyway, drama clubs. Anyway, so that's Mama's thing. The cause of this is her. Where she was. I showed y'all Mom. She was a Sigma Alpha Iota. She was in the band sorority, the music sorority.
Music.
Yeah, the music sorority.
But I was also in the band. Well, not in that one. I was not in the band there.
Look at that person. So this was Miss Missouri. Oh, she came to something. Oh. All right, guys. Bye. And my dad was a charter member of the Sigma Chi fraternity, the social Sigma Chi fraternity. And there he is right there. So that was in 1962. Quick update. I was at Mother's, and yeah, I probably had about 5, 6, I'll say maybe not quite maybe a little more than a tablespoon of nuts. Yes, I did. I had about 4 little, they were like about that sizes of cheese, and about that thin. She makes them like about a half a serving. I'm going to say about 6 small palmfuls of nuts and about 6 or 7 slices of cheese. That's what I did. Had about 4 tomatoes and 3 bites of pimento cheese. You're in the loop. I'm just being honest. Now, we have our G-Hughes and we got our Heinz. on my drive home, I was just hungry, and this stupid time change has me all kinds of jacked up mentally. I had to call Mom on my drive. I understand my phone, my watch and phone says 4:52. I get it, and I know it changed itself. But the concept of spring forward, fall back, I just, to me, I have issues with it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Everything is set correctly, but mentally, it just don't feel right. So, what I did was I stopped at Aldi's and I picked up 2 servings of, or I picked up 1 pound of 96 or 97% ground beef. Mom was talking about how Grandma used to make smash burgers. I don't think that's what they called it, but back when Mom grew up, they were always real thin, smushed out. So she said her and Grandma loved to, or my grandma used to love to go to Steak and Shake because they make smash burgers. And Mom was like, I see these commercials saying it's a new thing. She's like, well, it ain't a new thing. I grew up eating those. So anyway, so her talking about that made me decide I wanted just some burger patties. So I made 2 big old honking burger patties. Yes, I did. But, all right, red is G. Hughes, green is Heinz. I can tell by the texture, G. Hughes is more watery and Heinz is thicker. So I'm going to close my eyes and shuffle them around. But please help me remember. Red is G. Hughes. Now I'm going to hold this up because I got to stab a piece of meat. I kind of saw it, so hang on. Let me mix them back up. Alright, so, deal with me. It's okay. It's kind of a little bitter. So on the other side. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stab that piece, but nope, that ain't it. Oh, I think that might be it. Alright. Hopefully there's meat on here. This tastes more tomatoey and ketchupy. So, blind taste test, I like G. Hughes better. Heinz was okay, but this one just has more of a sweeter tomatoey flavor. So, I'll just mix them together and eat them until it's gone, but at least this way I know. Remember y'all, my taste buds have been messed up since 2020. So don't buy something that I say is good just because I say it's good. That don't mean it's good. It just means that's what my taste buds say. All right, I'm going to eat this until I'm satisfied. I may eat a whole pound. I don't know. I love y'all. Oh. This is raspberry cheesecake and who knows what. Maybe strawberry. I'm not sure. Tastes good though. So I thought it'd be fun to not tell myself what flavors I'm eating. So, all right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love you. Happy Sunday. I love you. Jesus loves you. Again, wherever you are, whatever your thoughts are, go vote. And also, go watch my church. Because you can hear the real message in the better way. So, all right. Love you all. Bye.